Welcome to another edition of Raw Arsenal. In this video, we review a shocking result. One way to describe it: shocking and untimely. Result just before our, what could be the decider, but it's still quite early to call who will win the title, Premier League title, at Man City's home ground, I believe, next week. But we lost this match. Heading into that one, Bournemouth was the opposition, and I had a look at the match again, and it was really interesting trying to figure out where it went wrong. It was our fullbacks looked dangerous at times in attack, which was a pivotal part of our early success. You recall the marauding runs of Timber and Calafiori, which has terrorized attacks of the Premier League defenses all season up until now. Of course, we no longer have Timber and Calafiori. But Madueke wasn't utilized. Very willing runner in Ben White. Maybe some of that is down to the limited amount of time they played together. And we barely utilized Martinelli on the left-hand side. So we mainly attacked through the right-hand side in the first half. Second half, Sosok came on to lift everything. We made the right subs. And it was 1-1 entering the second half. Brought on Trossard and Dowman for an underperforming witness. Everything on Eze Adams. He missed a glorious headed chance from the corner. And we had a few excellent little corners. When Dowman came on, we put in some brilliant crosses, searching for that. Searching for that second goal. Take the lead after we conceded the second goal. Searching for that equaliser. Dowman put in a number of excellent goals. Jesus came on later. At the peak of the play, and Dowman delivered it straight onto his head. Couldn't find a finish. Just like Johans. We held out the ball well at times. Couldn't find a finish. And he had a couple chances. But we did. It seemed like the coaching instincts had dictated for this match. Although when Ben White found him, he made a very intelligent run for him, scored. And later found out he was offside. So I'm just struggling to understand why we lost this game. But let's go back to the photos. Because the chance creation was there. The shots were there. Let's find out together what we're okay. This is first goal Bournemouth scores. Now, here's what I don't like, and it's happened before. I've made this point before. We play with a triangle in the midfield, but there always needs to be somebody at the base of the triangle, sort of covering the defense centrally when we are outside of possession and the runner is tackling an out half. And so, as you can see here, Zubimendi and Declan Rice are caught napping. There's just a big gap there in the center. Rice to the cover for Zubimendi, or Zubimendi for Rice. So Rice should have, look at the previous still, Rice should have first seen the gap here, seen this guy from Bournemouth, who's seeing the gap there between the midfielders. So he goes for the ball, you see it, turns around, and Rice is still out of position, but there's someone on his shoulder. That's where Martinelli has to come across. Anyway, Bournemouth's midfielder holds onto the ball still, and both White and Medwick are oblivious. Bournemouth's number 3, I think the left back. It was marauded down the left flank. Beautiful defense splitting ball. Momentum. By then it's too late. Yes, it was lucky, but his ball skids off Saliba's foot. Rebounds. As it does. Ricochets as it does straight into the path with Bournemouth's number 22, then number 10. But where is our fullback on the far post? Why hasn't someone told Miles Lewis-Skelly that the fullback has got to cover the far post? He's made this mistake in preseason as well. You recall against Villarreal where we lost to 4-3, something like that. Where Miles Lewis-Skelly is right now, where Rice or Zubimendi really should be. Zubimendi. So Rice replaces Zubimendi. Would, as you recall, right at the start of the move, have shifted over towards the right to help with press, perhaps too much so. The corner for 1-0 ahead. We have a corner, and it's a miss hit. No, sorry. So Rice taking it from the left-hand side there. And it's beautiful, beautiful goal. It deserved, beautiful stroke. It deserved the goal. And Havertz actually steps back to try to header to meet the cross when Martinelli was in great position behind it. It was slightly in a better position. We could have run forward onto the header, not walking backwards to position for the header. It's disappointing that Martinelli didn't call out for the header. Yeah, make his intent. No, Martinelli occasionally finds Rice. I like how we do this. And it seems like Rice has been working on the shot. I like how we cut back when the box is full, and we sometimes cut back into our holding midfielder, usually Rice. And it's a great opportunity for a long range shot, and he hits it well. Okay, so Madueke takes another corner in the 33rd minute, and it's a poor corner, but it happens to find its way to Gabriel. This is definitely a handball, as you can see. We've got Bournemouth defender here. His hand is straight up. He hits his hand. The ball hits his hand. Excellent. Gyökeres. I don't think many people had any doubts as to where this ball would end up. That was the back of the net. So 1-1. We're losing too many goals at this point in the first half. I don't know if we were tired. We lost too many games, too many physical battles on the floor and in the air. Fortunately, Raya, was able to save comfortably the 40th minute. He's another example of us not winning duels. Zubimendi, the culprit here again, had loads of time to release the ball. An issue that appears to have been rectified against Sporting Lisbon recently, where we qualified for the semi-finals, Champions League once again, consecutively, back to back. So Madueke here losing the duel, and the one who subbed in the 53rd minute. He did have one good forward pass to Gyökeres there. It was largely ineffectual, not able to find the ball, find the space through beating his man. Here we have a lovely bit of skill and awareness by Ben White, who backheels the ball before opponent's touchline there, allowing Arsenal to keep this play alive. I just wish Madueke used White a bit more. Felt like the combinations, Madueke was not looking ever to return the 1-2, as White was making some very intelligent runs forward in the game. Here's an example of one. He uses his body well and deceptive pace. Find like to make a foray down the flank, deliver a fantastic ball here. Just too far ahead of Havertz. The Rice runs onto it. Delivers a good ball. 53rd minute comes. And expected substitutions. Some were calling for the subs, myself included, to be made at half time. So I didn't see enough from Madueke in particular. But here we have Trossard, who was pivotal in our first half, or in the first two-thirds of our season. Absolutely pivotal, particularly in the Premier League. 5 goals, 5 assists. He currently stands on, and we need him to return to the form that he was in. This match, he couldn't get the ball out of his feet a couple times. Just didn't look match fit or sharp as he has been. Eze is coming on, looked sharp as well. He actually looked a bit sharper. Couldn't make the difference, fortunately. And Dalman, who was perhaps closest to making the difference. Here's White finding Gyökeres, as we can see here. Offside, margin. Great thinking, and it's great that White's looking for Gyökeres. That's the other thing. I felt like our players weren't looking for Gyökeres enough. Once we started looking for him, he was holding up the ball well, combining well with Jesus, who comes on later. Helped us create more chances. Rise from distance again. This time, very close. Bonus keeper Petrovic has to tip that one over the bar. Slightly, ever so slightly. He hit that wicket. But it wasn't Rice today, though he was captaining the side for the first time. Many people had called for earlier in the season. And with Saka and Odegaard both out. The captain's armband was either going to go to Gabriel or Rice. And this is great to see by Eze. Great pace, great determination, tenacity to follow bonus number right back and win the ball back there. Help us start off this attack. White feeds Dalman here with a fantastic through ball. But Dalman can't get his foot around the ball. For the cross. And the box is pretty packed, as you can see. Great interception by Skelly, and he had a number of excellent interceptions in this match. I know I've pointed out just the sort of incredulity that Skelly still doesn't know how to mark the back post in defense. Surely coaches have spoken to him about that. But in attack, it was a very fluid performance. He won the ball back for us many times. Delivered and execute some excellent challenges. Here's Gabriel losing the ball because as the second half progressed, he found it hard to dribble the ball, to pass our way, to start our possession-based game out from the back. Because as you can see here, Bournemouth have a lot of essential areas. As we did, as Man City did. He's probably going to do the same thing this coming week. When this happens, we need to realize, as you have realized, as the coach I'm sure has realized, it's time to launch the ball. Forward. Yeah, Gabriel makes a mistake. Skelly loses this battle. It's which pivot in the next moves. It's about this time should realize, or Rice should realize, and he does. Gabriel's out of position. It's a huge gap between the centre backs. Skelly's out of position as well. White should be coming across fast, not fast enough. Now, see, Rice is in a dangerous position now because he approaches the ball too fast. If he approaches the ball carrier too fast, he leaves a gap behind. Really should be, and as Gabriel actually did very well this game, um, just sort of joking the defenders, putting pressure without putting pressure. You know what I mean? Retreating backwards, putting the pressure on the ball carrier. Instead, Rice goes forward, as is his natural instinct as a holding midfielder. And Zimmerman is called flat footed. Where's the communication? Why isn't White come across? Why isn't White come across? Maybe because he's marking his fit. But where's the communication? White speaking to Dalman. Cover here, I'm gonna drop. There's this huge gap here. Look at where Saliba is. Look at where Saliba is. He's on the leftmost part of the semicircle where Gabriel normally should be. White should have come across. That's not just Zimmerman. It's one. And down. It's a deserved goal, right? Probably the man of the match, in my opinion. Number eight, number eight of Bournemouth. So here we are chasing the bank, chasing again at ambulance. It's the 78th minute. And Jesus has come on. And he's laid it off here. Trossel. He's taken too many touches there. Jules the ball out pretty much. Down here. He's found cross and he's put it in such dangerous area here. Right on the top of this of the small box here, the penalty box. A small penalty box. And if it's not for, well, Saliba and who's been closely guarded, a ball was sent back here. Maybe Gyökeres um, has a straight path to this. And I have it to score a goal like this against PSG last year. The ball ends up falling to him and he misses. This is what I mean. We had our chance. How does it miss? In fact, I think the Dalman here was looking for Jesus. Perhaps the ball could have been a little better, a little higher. So if delivered it is more so to this corner here. That would have been great. The chance falls, we miss. Dalman again. Hitting a fantastic ball right onto Jesus' head here. Gyökeres with the hold-up play here. In the header. Directs the ball to Jesus. Jesus finds Gabriel here. And it's almost a perfect first touch. Straight through the legs of the centre back there. But Bournemouth number 20 is able to get there because the touch is actually quite a heavy one. So Gabriel can't make use of that glorious chance. Dowman passes the ball back to Rice. We know can cross. This is an excellent cross. Right there to Gyökeres and Gabriel. None of them can steer that on target. Gabriel is essentially taking the place of Fury there. No wonder. He's got like 5 goals this season. Finds Jesus. Finds Gyökeres. Great order play again. Finds Jesus again. And I think we've seen enough from this pairing. I think we've seen enough of this pairing to suggest that Arteta might actually use this pairing next week to start. Let me know what you think. Jesus and Gyökeres should start in the number 9 and number 10 and 9 respectively, as opposed to Havertz started this match. Jesus finds Gyökeres here again, and he just can't get the ball out of shape for his man there. And chance goes back. In the season, I think Trossard would have sort of called for the ball and waited for the left from Gyökeres. Because we know Gyökeres is either better holding up the ball or dribbling when there's lots of space in front of it, but not so much beating his man. Creating that little bit of space for the shot, which Trossard actually can do. So Gyökeres heads attempts to go for goal himself. Can't create the space, the gap between the centre backs there. Just like that, we dropped points. 3 points, just 3 points separate us and second place Man City, top of the table. We go to Man City. We go to Man City next week. Interesting times. Let me know, especially after a recent draw against Sporting Lisbon. What do you think our starting 11 should be? Right now, I think best one to see. Fullbacks with contributed attack. Those who helped out our opponent's attack. There with some defensive positional errors. Of course, it depends on who's coming back from injuries, but clearly, more defensively secure team, Timber and Calafiori as our fullbacks. Mosquera came on and contributed a bit to attack, and he came on just after the Bournemouth second goal, which proved to be the winner, and held his own. So it was a bit faster than White as well. So I'm thinking Mosquera might start against Man City in the right back position. Saliba, Gabriel, and then maybe in Capia. We saw he's back in training. He had a horrid time against Semenya last time. I reckon Skelly will start. I reckon Skelly will start. Why is that? You recall he scored against Man City in that famous 5-1 demolition at the Emirates. I think Skelly's matured a lot. It looks like he's matured a lot. I don't know personally, but just the way he carries himself these days. And I think Arteta might just give him the nod. But I think we need to change there. If Calafiori was fit, I would start Calafiori. Calafiori is actually my preferred left back for what he does in attack, as well as he's just great defensive Italian mind. He reads he reads the play well, just like Skelly with interceptions, but his positioning is also on point, and he gets back. He senses danger, gets back, positions himself well. He wins a lot of headers too. He probably would have won that header that launched Bournemouth's second goal attack. Attack which led to the second goal. In midfield, Eze has done well, not just here, but in the Champions League there, in terms of sort of feeding. But what about Jesus? Eze scored, or sorry, set up Martinelli last time there to equalize. I have a feeling Eze's going to start. Martinelli on the left, Gyökeres center. Of course, Superman and Rice behind Eze on the right. What do you think, Calvin? All I can think is of him kicking down the corner flag after he scores that epic goal. Youngest player now to score a Premier League goal. I think that will start. Let me know what you thought in the comments, but I am out.